What's going on, guys? My name is Arrow, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my day one update on the Ice Shot League starter in 3.21 Crucible League. Let's go. All right, so here is my level 88, almost 89 character, Ice Shot the Sheriff. I tried my best in the 24-hour stream to push to level 90, and I just simply did not have it in me. I had a pretty slow slog through the axe because I was really enjoying the league content and I just couldn't stop doing it. I was way over leveled the whole time, but I had a really good time. The 24-hour stream went fantastic. I got a couple hours sleep, and now we are back to bring this video to you. So I want to talk about a few things: my gear, my experience, some things that may have changed from the original PoE, some things that you could do differently if you so please, and let's get into it. We're at the point right now where we have 2 5 links. We got up to tier 14 maps, but unfortunately our map sustain at the end of the stream was really bad. We are all the way back down to tier 10s now. I did take some map nodes on the tree, but I guess it just was not enough. So we are currently doing tier 10s, and that's what you'll see in the background. This is our bow that we actually found, crafted the attack speed on, but it has some nice damage modifiers. It had a pretty good crucible tree. So we 5-linked this ourselves. We got very lucky with the number of jewelers and fusings it took to do this. I think it was like 2 or 3 each. And this is our ballista totem setup in our offhand. In our main hand, we have, not our main hand, in our chest, we have our main setup. All of our gems just hit level 20 not too long ago. All of our gear, except for this 5-link, was self-farmed. Nothing crazy here at all. We found these gloves. I actually highly recommend getting these Shadows and Dust gloves for 1C. They give us crit multi. They give us smoke clouds, which make blind enemies. Gives us Unholy Might, which gives us some fizz as extra chaos, and it gives us Rampage. Rampage has us blasting through maps. We are flying. Deadeye is already a pretty quick Ascendancy. You put the Rampage on top of it, and you are really zooming. So all of our other gear is just kind of stuff that's got some life on it, got some res on it. Oh, I did buy this this ring for a couple of chaos, I think. One of these rings. You'll have to forgive me, I was live for 24 straight hours. One of our rings was a couple of chaos, the other one we found ourselves. This amulet, also found this ourselves, nothing too special. We're just trying to get life and resists on gear, and then anywhere we can get a little bit of damage, like multi or elemental damage with attacks, we went ahead and got it. We're at the point now where we have like a couple of Ichors and Embers, so we were throwing them onto our gear as we found them, just to try to get something useful, but nothing intentional as far as these go. This Helm enchant was just one that I found in Uber Lab when I did it. Let's talk about the Ascendancy. A lot of people are using Chain because until you get your Vengeance Cascade on your amulet, the Pierce is not as good for clear, which is absolutely true. If you want to do that, you can. And then respec later when you get Vengeance Cascade to make sure that your single target is getting hits on the way out and the way back. Chain is a fine way to get some clear early on if you don't mind spending the regret points. I believe you would have to do all 4 of these points in order to respec this, since you need 2 travel nodes. But either way, if you want to do that, you can. Another thing, we are currently taking point blank as well as far shot. Now, you do get the damage benefits of both, and it's actually a fine thing to take both of them, because you're going to be getting more damage early and more damage later. You're not going to be getting nearly as much of either. But the problem that I was running into with far shot is that the league mechanic monsters were so fast that I could not get away from them. Every single monster was right in my face, and I was losing all of my damage from far shot. It feels like they all have Soul Eater or Teleport or something that's going to make them right on top of you at all times. So I took point blank just to give myself some more damage, because the only time I need damage is against the league mechanic. So let's briefly talk about the league mechanic. I think it's so much fun. It's super interesting. We're having a blast with our trees. Right click your weapon, you can see your full tree. So what we have on this one, it's a pretty good weapon. And then we've got added physical damage. We've got flat critical strike, which is really strong. And then we've got this elemental penetration. This is great. But the problem is, it feels like it's not really worth doing more than 10% of a level, because when you channel for a while and you crank those monsters up, they become 10, 15 times the HP of the map boss, and they pretty much all can one-shot you unless you have many layers of defense, which again, a lot of league starters don't, particularly a bow build like this. A lot of them have, so their hits can't miss or increased accuracy, so our evasion does nothing. The league mechanic is very challenging for this build. And from what I've heard, it's been really challenging for most builds that aren't super OP meta. So that said, if you're going to do the league mechanic on this build, I recommend you just do a little bit at a time and just do a little bit in each map in order to prevent yourself from getting incredibly frustrated like I did, where I was trying every once in a while to juice it all the way to the max, and then I'd spend 6 minutes fighting the league mechanic in a single map to get a quarter or a half of one of these levels. I really think that some of those monsters need to be tuned down at the top end, because if you have a flickering skeleton bear that can one-shot, somebody with 6,000 health, then I don't really know how you're supposed to counterplay against that, because it's a soul eater, flicker striking, whatever the case may be. It can be really, really challenging, and some of the mods getting put together almost feels a bit like the arch nemesis problem that we had. So I like that the league mechanic is challenging, but it feels like as soon as you get a little bit of XP going, the monsters start to really stack up the mods they have on them and become giga powerful. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below if you're playing this or even something else, how the league mechanic is affecting you. But that said, we are having an absolute blast. This build has been crushing maps, and it's just been an absolute blast to play. I will put a link to my POB down in the description below, but a disclaimer, do not necessarily just follow the current POB that I'm posting, because I have gone full glass cannon. I got frustrated with the league mechanic, and I was finding that things like Grace weren't even helping me against some of these monsters. So I just shut off my defensive auras. I'm not running Arctic Armor anymore. I'm not running Grace at the moment. I will go back to those at some point, but at the moment I'm just Hatred, Herald of Ice, Precision, blasting as much as I can, just trying to have a good time. So don't necessarily just follow whatever I'm doing in the current POB, but I figured I would include it because I know you guys would want to see what I'm up to. Yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on with my character. Not too much exciting stuff, which is good. The leveling process was incredibly smooth. I had a blast. The second I turned on Vaal Ice Shot, we were deleting zone bosses. We were deleting anything that we came across, and it was so incredibly fun. I was enjoying leveling more than I have in quite a long time due to the power spike that you felt every time you hit that Vaal Ice Shot button. That's going to be it for me. I'm going to be live right after this video. Check me out, twitch.tv/AER0__. We will be streaming tonight again. See if we can push this thing into the end game. So that's all. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you're enjoying 3.21 Crucible. And as always, take care.